Hi everyone, it's time for the full moon rose reading. The full moon this evening at 18 degrees of Capricorn, and obviously at a full moon, the sun is in the opposite sign, so the sun is at 18 degrees of Cancer. This is another amazing pulse point of a full moon on our journey through this year, and my goodness, each one seems to hold a particular frequency. And I've had various conversations today with people that are being felt really discombobulated by the energy today. And it's very warm here in the UK, and we've had weeks and weeks and weeks with no rain. I think the last substantial rain was about the middle of April. So it's an extraordinary journey for us here in the UK. And I know that there is wild, wild weather. And I mean, goodness me, our hearts go out to all of those in Texas and the Guadalupe River. And these are just extraordinary situations that we're having to navigate. Not one of us is left untouched by what's occurring on the earth. And so it is perhaps of even more note that when we have these full and new moons, they are offering us another invitation to return back within, because that's the best help that we can be in support of anything that is going on in this outer screen of our lives. How do we stay in center? How do we keep an equilibrium and find a place of sanctuary within? And it's interesting, this moon from a Vedic astrology perspective is called the Guru Purina, so the dispeller of darkness, the this calling to the inner guru, and therefore there is an offering of our own inner sacred wisdom that is being invited in this particular full moon. Um, it's straddling Cancer and Capricorn, and Capricorn is the pathway of mastery, it's the pathway of discipleship. Um, and it is, strong earth sign, as opposed to Cancer, which is a water sign. Nevertheless, both are yin in their nature from an elemental perspective. So what is it that needs to be released at this point? Full moons invite us to a culmination. It's a culmination of the journey that we've been on since the new moon. And is there anything that wants to be released that is going to allow any of the visions and the projects that you may have been incubating to anchor and to root? Because we're coming into this time now where this would be a really powerful point in which to start to activate our vision. We are in turbulent waters in the next few months, and having a vision and having a focus of what we can bring to this new frequency, this new earth, this new way of visioning our lives here on planet Earth. What gifts did we come with? I can remember years ago I did a consult for somebody in Canada. I do a lot of remote consultations for mandalas of love consultations, or mandalas of love for homes, healing, consultations for people and their properties, but also for healing the land. Um, and this is work that I've been doing for the last 25 years. The roses have been part of it for the last 15, so it's been a rich journey. But I can remember this woman that I had a consultation with in Canada, and we were speaking about First Nations people, the native peoples, and she spoke about the babies coming in with their fists clenched, and that the journey, this was their bundle. They came in with their bundle, and that it was to gradually open their hands to reveal the gifts that they brought in their bundle, their unique gifts. And I don't know why, but I've never spoken of this particular um, conversation with the client um, before on one of these videos, but there's something here about really being present to the fact of unpacking our bundle. Do you really know what you're here for? Do you know the gifts that you've been honing all through your life? Because in the first 5 to 7 years of our lives, the parents the family that we birthed into will have created the template, will have created the trauma patterns or the experiences, positive or otherwise, that have been the foundation of our journey all through our lives. And clearly, there is some aspect of the soul for each and every one of us that went, I'll go down now. Sounds like an exciting time to be on planet Earth. That we came into incarnation, to clear the line, the ancestral lines through our own being, but also what was the aspect of what facet of the diamond of the heart did we come to polish through our experience, through our life journey? And for sure, that's what's in the bundle. That's what we brought to hone, to polish, to deepen our experience of what it is to be an earthling, what it is to be doing this human journey, and to be here at this time of huge change, huge potential, and potential that could go either way. And we're at that sort of precipice moment, it feels to me, where there is a further breaking down of the old structures that needs to go on, which might not necessarily be comfortable. And we are seeing also the destruction of our beautiful earth through man-made enterprise or man playing God. And what I do know for certain is that the roses came forward for this time. They came forward to be guides and way showers. They came to remind us of the truth of the rose heart, this place of pure essence. The roses are pure love. They've got no other agenda. That's why there's no words on here. They hold a very clean frequency, but all the time they're guiding us home, back home to ourselves, to let go of all that is not truly of our essence. And I think this is really a key full moon in getting super clear about what is truly of our essence and what we might be still running as pattern. Let's see what the roses have got to say in this particular reading. So we're asking for the wisdom of the roses for this full moon at 18 degrees of Capricorn. And we have Rose Angel 10. And Rose Angel 10 is all about self-love, self-value, self-esteem. She sits in the base sacral area in the body. And the Rose Angels are the transformers for the 5 wounds to love: abandonment, betrayal, denial, judgment, and separation. And they sit in the chakras. The roses have come as a balm, an illuminator and a balm for the healing of those particular wounds to love. And this rose, sitting base second chakra, is working with the wound of abandonment. And her invitation, she's one of the few roses in the set that has got a petal down. She's actually a rose called the Queen of Sweden, but she's a petal down. She's an invitation. Step in. You know, this is all about this journey home to self and the absolute foundation of our essence in the world, which has to be founded on self-love, self-value, self-esteem. I am worthy. I am enough. Because without that base plate being in place, there is no stability to the verticality. So what might this rose be inviting you into this foundation? Is there anywhere else where there is any old belief of unworthiness, any old belief of not truly being lovable? When we've had challenges in our childhood, we can become extremely independent and not open to trust or receive. Then there is control to ensure that there is safety, or we can survive. This rose is saying open, welcome in this sense of honoring self. And it's so beautiful that it's connected into that base second chakra, the base chakra. You know, I'm Sandra Marie, here I am, I've arrived, right? It's tribal. It's my connection to the earth that I birthed onto, that particular location on the planet that I birthed onto, the frequency of the earth. But it is also the substance of my family, you know, of origin. Was I safe? Was I held? Was I loved? Which enables then the rising into the sacral chakra, which is what Jung would call the individuation, that allows for the full blossoming of that sense of who am I inside the tribe, right? So without that real clarity of essence, that clarity of who I am, it is very difficult to find that place of self-love. So this is where her invitation, is there anywhere where you need to just review? Is there anywhere that is still running within me that is counter to the truth? I am worthy. I am enough. See what else the roses might have for us. So, what is the next? Rosemar 5. And this rose says, I am wisdom. I am the wise woman. I hold the wisdom of the divine feminine. And you'll notice with this rose, she's come with buds. This is not a solo journey. Right? This is no. I join with other wise women, or I join with others that hold that sense of honoring, the sacred honoring of the wisdom that is carried by the divine feminine. And I mean, she's super deep. Right down in the inside of here, there is that real depth of being, and absolutely gorgeous. So she is, powerful, but she absolutely knows and honors that she is a wisdom carrier. So self-love, self-value, self-esteem. I am wisdom. I hold the template of the wise woman. I am a wisdom keeper. Let's see what the third rose is that wants to come forward in this full moon window. Okay. And rose four. And rose four is always an interesting one when she comes out to play. This is a rose called the chocolate rose, actually. And there's a story that goes with how I came to photograph her, because I had photographed her way before I went to the Alhambra and birthed this work through. And I was told very clearly as I gathered the roses together that wanted to form the first set, that there were a few other roses that weren't with the Alhambra roses that were waiting for me in my stash on my computer of rose photographs that wanted to come forward, that were waiting for me for this work. And this was one of them. And she's like velvet, this rose, and has got water droplets all over her. So this rose sits on the liver chakra. And some of you will know that my background, my energy anatomy background, is with pranic healing. And with pranic healing, we also, we work with the liver chakra, we work with the spleen chakra as the sort of they're like wings on either side of the solar plexus. And the liver chakra for me is a really important energy, because she's the liver is the major detoxification organ in the body. She allows us to let go, flow, release, so that we don't hang on to things. We don't hang on to any bitterness. We don't hang on to anger. We alchemize and we release. What I find interesting about the water droplets on her is that for me, uh, although in Chinese medicine, the liver is connected to anger, for me, the anger is the gatekeeper for grief. So there is some connection here with the lungs. What is there still residual in the lungs that is holding a connection in with this liver chakra? Because, anger is often a defense mechanism for not having to touch a raw place that may be holding somewhere else in the body, not just the liver. So this is an invitation to say, check in. Is there anything else that is still running within you that is actually calling for release, calling to be let go of, because it's time, and we don't want to carry that frequency in to the future, and also that it disturbs the inner waters. Anything that we hold within us will at some point will have to be will have to reveal itself, and actually being conscious to that enables for more grace in the process. So these are our three energies for that want to come forward into this full moon window. And I'll just see which of the rose dragons wants to come and add a little extra information. We'll see which one wants to give us um, another flavor. There we go. Okay. And here we've got Celestial Rose Dragon 013. Rarely comes up in a reading. This, I feel, is the most powerful rose in the Rose Oracle and the Rose Dragon set. So the Rose Dragons really top and tail the Rose Oracle. So the Rose Oracle has been part of my, I've been building this body of work from 2010 to 2014 when I published the first edition. And then the second edition was published just as we went into 2020. And that had another 7 rose frequencies in it. The Rose Dragons came forward when I went when I moved to Somerset, and they birthed through my connection with a node point on the Michael Mary line called Burrow Mump. And I was called there very shortly after moving to Devon. And there are 5 elemental rose dragons: earth, air, fire, water, and ether. And there are 13 celestial rose dragons, which form like a crown of 12 stars on the crown of the Great Mother. That's the best way I can describe it. And there is a point within the center where the 13th energy is. And this is this rose. And this energy is a pure iridescent stream of God consciousness. So when she's connected with, she connects in a verticality through and connects with the elemental rose dragon of ether, who rises through from the earth star. This rose comes down through from the soul star. They meet and merge in the heart star, in that higher heart, that pure, innocent connection to source, this pure Christed light. And this is the energy that she carries. She is a really fascinating energy, and she's a rose called New Dawn. So here's the invitation. What is there here that is going to catch your attention and offer you a new dawn, a new clarity, a new insight into whatever it is that you're working on your own soul's evolutionary journey? Powerful stuff for this full moon in Capricorn. So what else have I got to share? I'm speaking on the Dragon Thunder 2025 conference summit this weekend. I'm speaking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, UK time, and you can still register to. There's amazing speakers on this Dragon Thunder 2025 summit. I will put the link in the descriptor. And there's a new Elemental Rose Dragon 5-week journey that will be starting mid-August. And there is a new inner pilgrimage, an inner rose pilgrimage. It's a completely new course that I will be offering from equinox, so at the 20th of September until the 20th of March. And it will take us right through the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries on the 20th of February 2026. So it's going to be the most amazing journey that is that is creative and a deepening of our ability to harmonize polarities, working, of course, with the roses and their wisdom. So I hope this has resonated, and that you've been nudged in some way by the roses. And yeah, bye for now. Bye bye.